Okay, so it is now June 9th because I tried to get back yesterday and there was a pretty intense storm in Dallas. My flight from LA got to Dallas, which was a little bumpy on the way in. I was listening to Mr. John Bellion's Father Figure album. I would say I listened top to front, but I skipped things that I knew already and I just didn't need at that moment. Kid Again. Was Kid Again the only one?
I mean, like Horoscope?
I already knew Horoscope, yeah. But I wanted to feel the flow of the album, which I was surprised at certain. Pharrell is like it's a political choice at a certain degree, but it's obviously a spiritual choice. I was reminded of how I felt the day it dropped, the day I spoke to him for the first time. Pharrell was coming from this mental place of choosing words that were catchy ideas of what a horoscope is, but John was just how he sings and how he opens his voice is such a different octave of being. And yeah, I was reminded of that. Still Wash, Why, and My Boy. Those are my favorites. Don't Shoot really was surprising as well. I was like, wow, that's really cool.
I like Wash 2.
Wash 2 is gorgeous. And the video too. He's obviously a very skilled piano player. Like, wow. You can't say the word pianist and not think about a penis. No, it should just be deleted from all of our vocabulary. You should say piano player. No one should ever again say pianist. So I landed after listening to My Boy, which I was sobbing. Writing and typing out consciousness and just I'm nearing fatherhood. That was a big piece of what kind of landed. I was in LA, which is a big kind of return moment for me of living there for 12 years and really just severing my relationship with that place. And then all of a sudden, boom, going back to it. And I'm there while Father Figure comes out. I could have zero connections to anybody. I could be from Russia, I don't know. But happened to have a conversation with him. Brother Darian happened to be signed to Beautiful Mind Publishing. I happened to be about to be a father specifically this summer when he's dropping. What? And the album's called Father Figure. So just super connected. Whoa, okay, this is my return to LA. What does my art mean to me as I move into fatherhood? And the first feeling was like, whoa. I get there, Matt Thompson, Anomaly, film, acting, actor. I get to just totally get out of the idea of Rocco. I think I told you there was like a December 31st, it was New Year's. They were still living here, so it was before 2018. And I was upstairs visiting, and I had a psilocybin experience by myself. They're downstairs sleeping, and I'm up till 5 a.m. At one point, I was gonna shave my head, shave my eyebrows, shave my beard. I did write a piece of paper out. I didn't finish it, and it was gonna be in my hands, and I was gonna be sitting here, full lotus, on this countertop as they came down. I did not do that. I'm glad I didn't. But in that letter, I wrote, the only thing in the way is Rocco. And that's just an idea. The reality of acting, for me, is so healthy because I literally get to just use the Rocco faculty like a tool, a mechanism, a series of tools, a tool belt, a kit, a system. Channeling is a very specific activity, but there's some of that involved for sure. The imagination gets involved and just commitment. I do have craft there. Like I put in 1,000 hours, 10,000 hours, probably 50, 20,000, I don't know. Started in 2009, 3 acting classes a week for a few years with Steven Anderson, actors work. It felt like coming home to LA and coming home to myself as an artist. Then Martin Gigi, Warner Bros. Lot, whoa, this is where the young Rocco imagination dream peaks. What would it be like to have a production deal with a huge studio? Not that it's like end all be all, but it's something. Especially after watching Seth Rogen's studio. Dear God, people need good storytellers. And then Martin's just got a pure soul.
Yeah.
And it's business, it's mature, it's adult. It's like, this is an office. This is where adult things happen. There's security at the front door. And it's film. Filmmaking is very specific culture, as is Burbank, California. And then, yeah, downtown with Nolan and Sam, and there's graffiti, it's dirty, there's artists coming and going. It's part of this brewery. There's multiple different styles of artists. Cannabis is I have a trauma with cannabis. I have a relationship with cannabis, but it does open up the top of your skull. And then Nolan, God bless him, just was like, want to perform? To which I know I do. So I said, yeah, I do. But then that made me think, why? And what is my music to me? What is music making to me? And then I go back to Matt's place by myself, and I'm reflecting, I'm considering, I'm thinking. Also, some of the young people that came in and out of Nolan and Sam's amazing grounded showroom, there is this kind of aspect of LA artist, entertainer, hustle culture. It's like someone trying to collect your identity as part of their accomplishments. And it feels icky for me. And that made me think, what am I pursuing in my artist career, in my life, and in LA specifically? And that just stirred the pot. And then LA by itself is a vortex. It is a portal. Now I'm home again.
How did the show end up?
It all builds up, and it's all stress and anxiety, and am I good enough, and I need to learn these lyrics better. And then you're actually at the event and meet brother Dylan, and
You literally texted me, you said, I love this shit.
and I just love this shit. It all comes back to being like, oh yeah, that's a pretty simple explanation for why am I doing this, why am I pursuing this. But I had to get through all those noises of my ego having responses and reactions and conversations floating around. And I also felt like this feeling of, man, my spiritual identity is such a different component of me to my artistic identity. And I don't sometimes know where the bridge is. And they're super different, like, costumes that I feel become worn on me. But then that night, I had the task exporting some last-minute versions of the song, so that gave me a focus point. David Tossi shows up, and the actual environment was really cool. You had a lot of different people coming and going. And it's a showroom, it's an art room, it's an industrial-style warehouse, and it's a clothing store at the same time. Seeing Dylan perform was just like, bro, I love hip-hop. Like, I remember thinking when David was there, I got a little voice of judgment around the idea, and around Amirion too, because he's so profound. And I think that's part of the shadow I navigate with making music that's not considered musically superior. Like, where's the musicians? I heard a voice in my head say, like, where's the musicians? It's not music. And it's, man, what a trauma that I still navigate to this day, which is the first thing that my dad ever said to me when I made music. I'm 34, and I'm still finding my own relationship with accepting my impulses as an artist, specifically in hip-hop. Seeing Dylan rock it, I told him, you definitely got some kind of drunken master. He has this great navigation of the space, and his body's swaying back and forth. And then he stops it, and it got very linear, and it almost was like a organized dance. Like, he was like super, just no direction and no idea of what he was doing physically. And then all of a sudden he got to this particular spot in his lyrics, and he went, one, and then he literally chopped it up, and it was almost like a rehearsed step movement. I doubt it was, but I processed it with him afterwards. And it was a great difference between, you could say, a more feminine, uncontrolled, abstract, unguided, free-flowing movement and use of the space. And then there were these moments that were very decisive, masculine, sharp, and angular that helped bring his words to physicality. Okay. And then, yeah, that just reminded me, it's just what a poetry in just picking up a microphone and rapping on beats. In a space like that, a lot of folks have no fucking clue what you're even saying for most of the time. They're picking up words here and there, but if you forget the lyrics, you know how to freestyle, just commit to doing it, and whatever comes after that's going to be great. Belle is back in her bag. Really, she's always in her bag. I'm back home.
Simple rice bowl, but...
So, dinner served. Gotta go. Gotta jump back into dinner. That's some of what happened in Los Angeles. Early June 2025.